Aussie beef could be set to boom as Trump's trade war appears to have halted the United States' $2.5 billion of beef exports to China. The effects of the retaliatory tariffs have already been felt in restaurants, with an American-style restaurant in Beijing declaring it'll be switching fully over to Aussie beef. So are our cattle farmers up to filling the gap, and should consumers expect a surge in prices? For more, we're joined by sheep and cattle farmer James Jackson, live in Guyra, New South Wales. Good morning to you, James. Have cattle farmers seen an increased demand for Aussie beef in China since the tariffs?
Yes, indeed. We've seen volumes going into China over the last couple of months increase by about 40% year on year. So volumes have increased and sale yard prices have been going up for the last month or 6 weeks. So yes, there has been a positive effect, but beware, because the IMF have just brought out projections on world growth, and that is the sting in the tail of the tariff story. Because if world growth contracts, demand for items, discretionary items like beef, will decrease over the planet, and the global growth prospects, I think, is 3.3 down to 2.8%, and indeed even our domestic market, the IMF are predicting domestically our growth going from 2.1%, which is Treasury's prediction, down to about 1.6%. Both those issues are sort of caveats on this sugar hit, if you like, to volumes going into China.
Right, so you want people to eat more beef. You need a campaign going, I think. So how much of the slack is China taking up that you have lost from the US?
Well, the product going into the US, going into China, is actually quite different to the product going into the US. US is a grinding beef market. They put it into their beef patties, their hamburger patties, whereas into China it's actually a high-value grilling market, going into the restaurants and the high-end hotels and whatnot. So it is a different product, and we are substituting fairly high value product into that Chinese market at the moment. So it is a very good market at the moment, and it's reflecting in sale yard prices, and it will compete against domestic prices as well. So domestic prices you'd expect to go up a little bit. However, it's certainly a good sign in the short term for beef producers, but beware the long term on these tariffs.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for explaining, James. Here's Shivo.